Trump administration sanctions over Russian political meddling have been called woey inadequate, as U.S. lawmakers from both sides of the aisle criticize the measures. U.S. President Donald Trump at the U.S. Capitol in Washington. Photo, AFP photo, SAUL LOEB. The sanctions, against 19 Russian individuals and 5 Russian organizations, are in retaliation for Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. election and cyber attacks stretching back 2 years. Any assets the individuals and organizations may have in the U.S. are frozen, and American citizens are prohibited from doing business with them. A Treasury Department statement also said Russian governmenters had also targeted U.S. government entities and multiple U.S. critical infrastructure sectors, including the energy, nuclear, commercial facilities, water, aviation, and critical manufacturing sectors. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin was unequivocal in saying that Thursday's action by his department counters Russia's continuing destabilizing activities, ranging from interference in the 2016 election to conducting destructive cyber attacks. He said there would be additional sanctions against Russian government officials and oligarchs for their destabilizing activities, but did not give a time frame for those sanctions, which he said would sever the individual's access to the U.S. financial system. However, congressional critics called the administration's action a woey inadequate retaliation. Adam Schiff, the top Democrat on the House of Representatives Intelligence Committee, said that only 2 new senior Russian officials with ties to military intelligence were included in Thursday's action. The sanctions today are a grievous disappointment and fall far short of what is needed to respond to that attack on our democracy, let alone deter Russia's escalating aggression, which now includes a chemical weapons attack on the soil of our closest ally, he said. He noted the Obama administration had already imposed sanctions in December 2016 on the other named Russian intelligence entities and individuals. U.S. President Donald Trump has faced fierce criticism in the U.S. for doing too little to punish Russia for the election meddling and other actions. U.S. President Donald Trump and his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin speak at the APEC Leaders Summit in Vietnam in November. Photo, AFP photo, Sputnik, Mikhail Klimentiyev. He has frequently questioned a January 2017 finding by U.S. intelligence agencies that Russia interfered in the 2016 campaign using ing and propaganda in an effort eventually aimed at tilting the race in his favor. Russia denies interfering in the election. Special counsel Robert Mueller is also looking into whether Mr. Trump's campaign colluded with the Russians, an allegation the president denies. 16 of the Russian individuals and entities sanctioned were indicted on the 16th of February as part of Mr. Mueller's criminal investigation. Mr. Mueller has today also subpoenaed the Trump Organization for documents, including some related to Russia, The New York Times has reported. Special counsel Robert Mueller. Photo, Alex Wong, Getty Images, AFP. It is the first known order directly related to Mr. Trump's sprawling business empire, and assigned the investigation into possible collusion between Russia and the Trump campaign during the 2016 election as inching closer to the president. Republican House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Ed Royce also said the administration did not go far enough. Today's action, using authorities provided by Congress, is an important step by the administration. But more must be done, he said. Brian O'Toole, a senior fellow at the Atlantic Council think tank, a former senior advisor at the Treasury Department's Office of Foreign Assets Control, echoed that sentiment. They didn't hit Russian President Vladimir Putin's power structure, and they didn't team up with Europe. Russia has also been accused of being behind a nerve agent attack on one of its former spies in Britain, who had fed information to British authorities, and his daughter. British Prime Minister Theresa May ordered 23 Russian diplomats to exit the country within a week over the attack, saying they were undeclared intelligence officers. Mr. Trump told reporters during a White House event with Irish Prime Minister Leo Varadkar that it certainly looks like the Russians were behind the use of a nerve agent to attack Sergei Skripal, a former Russian double agent in England. He called it something that should never, ever happen, and we're taking it very seriously, as I think are many others. The Trump administration also joined Germany and France in publicly backing the UK over the attack, saying there was no plausible alternative explanation. However, Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer criticized a lack of retaliation. Putin constantly attacks our friends. So, President Trump, are you going to get smart about the threat Russia poses to the United States and our allies? A senior administration official told Reuters that Mr. Trump, who campaigned on warmer ties with Putin, had grown exasperated with Russian activity. In Moscow, Deputy Foreign Minister Sergei Ryabkov said Russia was preparing retaliatory measures, as U.S.-Russian relations plunged again despite Trump's stated desire for improved ties. Reuters, RNZ.